This is Brayden.
And this is Jason the Dad, and you're watching BSBN.
Brayden Sports Broadcasting Network.
Welcome to episode 3. Episode 1?
Trace.
Episode 2?
Episode
Trace. Trace?
I don't
Dry?
know.
3.
Tracy.
Who's Tracey?
Another?
Episode 3. This week
Star
on
Wars.
BSBN, what does Star Wars have to do with Brayden Sports Broadcasting Network?
Episode 3. Bad stuff.
Anyway, we got 2 features for you this week on our show. Trimmed down just a little bit. We're going to do our weekend review. Really? Weekend review. And then we're going to do 3-on-3. And this week with our 3-on-3, Brayden has prepared 3 questions that I have no idea what they are. The first time we did it, we collaborated. So I don't know the questions he's going to ask me. He doesn't know the questions I'm going to ask him. So with that, big football weekend. And so what do you want to talk about from this weekend in review, especially football or any other sport, because it's your show?
The Raiders beating the Steelers.
That's a little perplexing, isn't it?
Mm-hmm.
Because that's that whole team with the worst record beats the team with the better record. And that confuses you sometimes, doesn't it?
Yeah.
Why does that confuse you?
Because the Steelers are bad.
But they're bad, good record, going to the playoffs.
Well, they have John Gruden.
Just the Raiders do?
And
If that was the reason
better.
He's gotten a little better, because they've been struggling.
Yeah, what? 3-10.
It's pretty bad. Pretty bad. Related to that, something you didn't want to talk about, but I'm going to go ahead and bring it up today.
What?
You didn't want to talk about your Denver Broncos getting shellacked
What did I ever do to you?
by at the time, the 2-win 49ers. I'm just talking, if we're going to talk about bad teams who get beat by good teams, I should say, with better records than other teams, it just happens. So how do you feel about the Broncos losing?
How could you?
How could I? What else you want? Weekend review. So we talked a little NFL. What else is out there? We watched a little college football this weekend. What was the only NCAA Division I football game on? Not to knock the whatever Division I little guys.
What was the question?
What was the big college football game we watched on Saturday?
I think it was Alabama.
No. Army-Navy game. Army-Navy game. Big deal in our house.
He likes Navy.
Correction. I like Army.
Where's
Because
the proof?
your grandpa, my dad, career officer in the Army. Your grandpa, your mom's dad, Navy, right? My grandfather, your great-grandfather,
Really?
was in the Navy. And your cousin, my cousin, is in the Army now.
Oh yeah.
And so we're big.
Fan.
We're big Army, right? And so Army, how many years in a row did this make it?
2. Tracey?
Episode 3.
Oh.
3 consecutive wins for Army, so big deal. Yeah. What else you got? What other weekend review? So Army Navy, we're excited. Army won 3 years in a row. Commander-in-Chief trophy and cup, and on to play Houston in a bowl game in a couple of weeks. We talked some NFL. What else you got? Weekend. Oh.
The Nuggets signed Nick Young from the Warriors for a 1-year contract, and now we might actually be good.
Well, the Nuggets are the 3 seed in the West, so they're already pretty good. You think Nick Young's going to make them the number 1 seed?
Mm-hmm. It was
Wow.
a free agent. Mm-hmm.
No pressure, Nick Young, but this Nugget fan expects you to make us number 1. Yeah? Cool. So a little NBA. Anything else weekend in review, other sports stories? Because you've been talking about sports nonstop for a few days, so what other weekend review type?
I'm thinking.
So we talked about the Broncos, we talked about the Raiders, talked about Army-Navy. Tell you what, let's switch gears to our 3-on-3, and then if anything else comes to mind that you want to touch on one more time for our weekend review, we can do like a weekend review part 2. But it's your show, so it has to be your idea. You good with that?
I like the Falcons.
Random. Okay, 3-on-3, segment number 2. So do you want to ask the first question, or do I?
You.
Okay, I'm going to ask you the first question. All right. Again, big football weekend. Huge Washington Redskins fan. We are on our 4th quarterback this season in Josh Johnson. Mark Sanchez didn't necessarily pan out. Did you know that Mark Sanchez posted a QBR of 1.0?
What does that mean?
That means he played awful.
Yay!
No. So my question to you is, who should the Redskins get for a quarterback to finish the season? Should they stay with Josh Johnson, who played pretty
RG3.
decent? Wow. And like all of Redskins Nation just cried a little inside. RG3. But he plays for another team right now. We can't sign him. That's who you would go for?
Tom Brady. I'm just kidding.
I would love to make a trade for Tom Brady. RG3 is your solution to the Redskins' problems.
He's good.
Hail to the Redskins. Hashtag, not a diamond. Hashtag. All right. What's your first question for me?
Do you think Army will beat Houston?
I do. I think when you think about Army season this year, look, we beat Duke, or we lost to Duke, which is the toughest loss on our schedule, but Duke had a winning season this year. We took Oklahoma to overtime at their home. They were ranked like 5th in the nation. So I think Army just absolutely pounds and steamrolls Houston.
What would the score be?
I'm going to go like 35-10 Army. 35-10 Army. Army over Houston. All right, my next question for you. We talked about Redskins quarterback situation, right? So Alex Smith, bad leg injury. Colt McCoy, leg injury. Quarterback for UCF, leg injury. My question to you is, do you think we'll see an increase in leg injuries in the NFL since players are so worried about helmet-to-helmet hits and hitting high that now they're going to low? Are we going to see more leg injuries in the future?
Does hamstring count?
Well, it's part of the leg.
Cortland Sutton did something to his hamstring.
Okay.
But he's still alive!
Well, we're grateful for that. So my question is, do you think we'll see more leg injuries since players are trying to not go high? And so now they're going to go low and more leg injuries, yes or no?
No.
Okay. So you don't think we'll see an increased leg injury. All right, well, only time will tell. We'll see how it plays out. What's your next question for me?
Do you think the Nuggets will be NBA champions?
Oh, see, that's fantastic because that's going to segue into my next. I do not. I do not think the Nuggets are going to be the NBA champs. I don't even think that they will be in the NBA championship game. I'm sticking with my prediction from episode 1. I called Oklahoma City Thunders. A guy who used to be a good friend of mine, Bruce Fields, made fun of me for picking the Oklahoma City Thunder, who right now sit as number 1.
To the Nuggets.
Sit as number 1 in the Western Conference. I'm staying with my Oklahoma City Boston matchup in the NBA championship. Boston's the 5 seed right now, so they got some work, but I think Oklahoma City wins it.
What if Oklahoma City loses to Denver?
Not going to happen. Not going to happen. So, great segue to my question. It's funny because it's the opposite of your question. I was going to say I picked OKC and Boston in the finals, that OKC win. Do you really think that your Nuggets, who are 3 seed in the West, do you think they'll be NBA champs? So we kind of asked each other the same question. Do you think the Nuggets are going to be the champs? I mean, you asked me that question and then thought I was crazy when I said no.
Maybe it would be the Raptors Nuggets, not the Warriors.
So Raptors, the Nuggets and the Warriors are both in the West, so at best they would play in the Western Conference Championship. So you're saying Raptors, Nuggets in the NBA Championship?
Even though they already played.
And it's the playoffs, though. It would happen again. And you're calling the Nuggets.
I believe that we will win.
It's going to take a whole lot more than chanting for that to happen. All right, third and final question from you.
What's the most important position in NFL?
In the NFL, the most important position, a lot of people go quarterback.
Nope.
Passing league, quarterback league. I would say that due to recent Washington Redskin leg injuries, goes all the way back even to the day of Joe Theismann 33 years ago now. Most important position is offensive line to protect the quarterback, most specifically the blindside tackle. Depending on what hand you are, it's typically left tackle, maybe right tackle, but definitely go O-lineman. Shout out to your big brother Christian, Bubba, 17-year-old senior, first team all-conference. First team all-conference. All kind of team awards and accolades. 6'2", 235 O-lineman, right? Family shout out, family love.
I never knew he was mine.
Okay. So we did weekend review. We did our 3-on-3. Any final thoughts from you for our show this week? Man, we talk about this show all week long. You have to have a little less processing time during the episode.
Do you think the Dodgers are going to make the baseball
World Series.
But do you think they're going to win or lose?
I don't even think they're going to make it.
For the last 2 years they have, but they've lost.
They won't make it this year.
Yay.
That's my 2 cents. I'm sticking to it.
Yay.
Alrighty. That has been one heck of an episode 3. I'm Jason the Dad.
And I'm Anakin Skywalker.
And this is BSBN.
Anakin's Sports Broadcasting Network.
Brayden Sports Broadcasting Network. Nothing like having a 9-year-old host of a show.
And of dogs. Not hot dogs, but dogs.